Hi, I'm Sheila Silver, and I'm going to demonstrate for you these Tibetan singing bowls that I use in my latest work, Being in Life, which I wrote for Ann Ellsworth and Northwest Philharmonia in Seattle. So the first thing you need to know about bowls is their basic structure. A Tibetan bowl has two primary pitches, a lower and an upper, an octave, and usually a fifth and or a tritone, so it's like a 12th. You can hear the lower note and the upper note. The richer, this is for instance my low F sharp bowl. It also has a C sharp, but on top of that C sharp is also a C natural way up there. And it's the richness of the sounds that produces this incredible Tibetan bowl sound that I fell in love with. You'll also notice that the sound has a warble, and that the vibrations, the curves of the sound, the waves, are faster on top than they are when they're lower. So this is the F sharp bowl. This is my B flat bowl. This F sharp is a little bit low. This B flat is very close to concert pitch with a perfect fifth, a perfect 12th above. And this bowl is my D and G sharp. The D almost sounds like a C sharp, but it's somewhere between the two. And as you can see, I'm hitting these bowls with a hard wool mallet, and I have two of them here. These came from Nepal. These came with the bowls. And you could use your favorite gong mallet, anything that's a hard wool mallet. This bowl is a G and a D, but there's also a C sharp up there. And it has a very large lower wave. It's a little bit noisy. It's a little bit muddy, but I think it's an interesting sound, this one. It's probably less pure than these other bowls, but it's an interesting sound. And this is the Littlest Ball. This one should be played always in the hand because it's too lightweight, it'll fall off a stand. And this is an unusual bowl in that it's middle C plus an octave plus a perfect fourth. It's the only bowl I've seen that has a perfect fourth as the upper tone. And you'll see that I made some stands. The bowls are heavy, so it's not always convenient to hold them if you're playing them for a long time. And this table that I'm using today is very shiny, so the stands were jumping around when I hit them, so I put them on pillows which have a backing that will adhere to the table. So I suggest that you find something that will not slip when you hit it. You want to be able to hit them with a good whack and not have them jump. Okay, so basically hitting the bowls with wool mallets will bring you the lowest, richest sound. You can also hit them with in-between sounds like this is suede. These are both suede mallets. Suede on this side, wood on this side. This is also a suede mallet. More gentle. When you hit them towards the rim, it brings out the higher harmonics. And also, you can, in one place, for instance, you can even hit them with wood or metal. There's one place in the first movement where I call for plastic, or if you have a triangle beater, I don't have one, but I'd like to try this. This goes on for some time in that rhythm. So that brings out mostly the G sharp, and the lower harmonic the lower fundamental is basically suppressed. So hitting the bowls is basic percussion technique. It's like hitting a gong. But singing the bowls takes a little bit more skill. And so the easiest way to sing a bowl is with a wood mallet. This is a cylindrical wood mallet, and I grab it with 2 fingers in front and my 4th and 5th finger in the back. So it's very, very easy. It's not, you don't have to press hard, you just kind of hold it. But to start, you just simply put the mallet on there and start. Now it does take a little bit of time to get the sound going. But going faster does not produce more sound. You want to be slow and steady. You want to press hard. I'm pressing hard actually, but I want to be going at the same rate. And you'll see that the lower note is coming out quite prominently. Now if I want to favor the upper harmonic, I can start to angle it up. And you'll start to lose that lower tone and you'll only get the upper one. And I call for this a lot actually, where I don't want the lower tone, I just want the upper one. So don't try to go faster, that's not going to help. Just slow and steady. Somebody told me once that you have to breathe deeply while you're playing the bowls. And the first time I used a Tibetan bowl was in a performance, was with a piece I wrote called Midnight Prayer. And the poor percussionist who was playing it was nervous and he was swirling fast and he wasn't breathing and no sound was coming out. So so I believed this person who said you have to breathe deeply. It helps stabilize your arm, I suspect, and the sound will come out. Okay, so that's singing the bowl with wood. There's also the possibility of singing the bowl with suede. This is a suede mallet. I have a few of these, and you can just, takes a little while to start. With these, again, the lower harmonic is coming out, the fundamental. Now, some people say, well, you have to start the bowl by giving it a bang and then starting it. And yes, that works, but you always, if you're using wood, it will always make a rumble. So if you start it like this, when you put the mallet on there, it jumps. That's why I think it's better to learn to just start from scratch. There are times when I call for the mallet to start with a bang, in which case I mean something like this. An attack, purposeful attack. And another thing that I call for is the ending swipe. I don't always call for it. Sometimes I want you to just lift up like that so you can't hear it. But other times I want you to lift up with a gesture of a swipe. I call it the ending swipe and it will be like this. So it's a fast around. And it kind of rattles a little bit, but that's what I want. So that handles the suede and wood. Now, one of the other things that I call for, especially at the end of the second movement, and again when it's reprised in the third movement, both percussionists are playing all 5 bowls and you'll want to arrange them in some way that's easy for you. I know that I always call for this bowl to be held because it's too light and it will fly off the table. So one of the players has this bowl plus a mallet and he has to hit that and this, and he may have to do it this way where he hits that and then he hits that with this and then he hits that with this. So you have to be a little bit flexible in what you're going to hit with. So it's a sort of a and with 2 players going, you can have an array of sounds. And I think and you can improvise your own also in those motions, in those sections. The interesting thing about this piece is that these bowls are fixed and these pitches are fixed. So in those sections where you're playing, there's a free section at the end of the second movement and it reprises towards the end of the third movement. I think I wrote play this or improvise what you want, but that's the idea. So thank you for listening. I hope you'll play this piece, that many percussionists will play this piece. These bowls are available with the parts for rental, or you can use your own. It would be important that the fundamental pitches of each of the bowls be represented, that being the B flat, the F sharp, the D, the G, and the C. And I think if you had those correct, the upper partials are important too, but maybe less critical. And remember that these are microtonal. They will not ever be in perfect pitch. These are not meant to be used in a Western. They aren't accountable for our Western intonation. They're only accountable to themselves, and we're bringing them into the Western world. So enjoy the microtonals and the dissonances that will occur because of them. So thank you and enjoy. Hi, I'm here with Anne Ellsworth, for whom I wrote Being in Life, this concerto for alpenhorn, French horn, and these Tibetan singing bowls. And we're going to show you a technique to use the bowls that I didn't show in the previous video, which is called buzzing, and it's a technique that we made up one afternoon. So the first thing about buzzing is you clang the bowls together and you let them ring in. So first we're going to show that. Basically, one of you, like I've got the lighter bowl, so it's easier for me to go in, and she holds that one fairly steady. So this is your basic clang. The idea being to get it to bounce and to ring, but not to kill the sound. And if you want to do a more aggressive one, you can angle them out a little bit like this. And of course, you don't want to ever damage the bowls, so you don't want to hit them so hard that you damage them. So the next technique that we want to show is one where we create a rhythm with the buzzing and the stopping. So that would be this. And those are two of the techniques that are called for in the piece. Basically, it's either buzz and let ring, or buzz and stop. And when you stop the sound, usually it's in a rhythmic pattern. So that's our addendum to the video that I made about how to use the bowls in Being in Life. Thank you very much.